Welcome to the MLB Closing Time Show. It is Thursday, June 24th. Ian Cameron, Jose Bouquett, our special guest with us. I almost said Connor. I'm so used to saying Connor after my name. We don't have Connor yet. We're waiting for him. Hopefully he'll be joining us in a moment or two. But Ian Cameron, Jose Bouquett, ready to break down this Thursday MLB card. Of course, Jose is with us Tuesdays and Thursdays here on the MLB Closing Time Show. And what can we say for Jose about his best bet on Tuesday? The last time he joined us, Kansas City is a dog of plus, what were they, 260? Something like that in that game against Garrett Cole and the Yankees. Before we get into today's card, Jose, we'll give you a minute to do the old Barry Horowitz treatment and, pat yourself on the back and give yourself credit for that call on Tuesday night. But give us your reasoning. You're saying off the air, what was the fundamental reason for going against Garrett Cole, using the Royals as the best bet on Tuesday?
Well, I told you Garrett Cole's an asshole. So, I mean, it was pretty obvious. The baseball gods were going to punish him for damn near being in tears for not being able to use his sticky substances. Again, if you go watch that press conference, please, he sounds like Kermit the Frog, and he's in tears. So it was very funny to watch. And they're about to lose again, actually, to the Royals. We can jump right into this game as it's playing right now. Can't really talk about pregame line since now there's already a runner on. But Ian, we talked about it also last time I was here. The live overs. I mentioned it to you previously, and then you hit bet it, and then immediately all the runs started coming in. So that's definitely another spot for this here.
That's what I'm thinking, because we'll talk about this game briefly. It's obviously just got underway. Royals and Yankees. Brad Keller, Jamison Tyone. Brad Keller's pitched like Helen Keller. That's the running joke I've used all season for Kansas City. The Yankees were minus 210 favorites, 9 the total. They just started the first inning. I did lean to the over, but I'm going to wait a little bit. Tyone's actually been good at home for the most part this season, although he's already allowed a base runner here, so maybe that's going to change a little bit today. But nevertheless, Keller, believe it or not, Keller's been worse at Kauffman Stadium than he's been on the road. So that's what I'm thinking. And with this being an early game too, I start thinking a little bit that maybe we're going to see a slower start in terms of runs scored, and then look maybe to a live over potentially in this game. But I did not get involved in this game either way. I did take the Royals last night, and they broke our hearts in the 9th inning last night of that game. But I'm certainly not rushing to lay a price with New York. It would have been Kansas City or nothing for me today. Jose, what did you bet this game?
I did not, but I definitely would have looked towards the first 5 for the Royals again. It's just so funny. It looks like, and I might be a Yankees hater because I'm a Red Sox fan, but the Yankees are just simply the most vulnerable big favorite I see every time. And it's probably one part due to them being the Yankees and them being that brand name squad, and another part being them just being overrated every year. So I love betting against them, and I will continue to do so until they prove to me that they are a good baseball team.
Yeah, absolutely. Good stuff. All right, next up, we've got the Oakland Athletics and the Texas Rangers. This is an afternoon game here. Chris Bassett for the Athletics, Corey Allard, the lefty, for the Texas Rangers. We've got Oakland minus 145, road favorites, 8 the total in this one. Oakland losing to Texas last night by a score of 5-3. I was definitely a little bit concerned. So definitely a little bit concerned about Oakland's inability to hit Fultonevich last night. That was very, very surprising in my mind. He pitched a really good game, and he had been not pitching too many of those this season. But I think it's a good bounce back spot with Chris Bassett on the mound here against this Texas team. The A's are 11-4 in the 15 starts made this season by Chris Bassett. So that's a pretty good track record. They have been mashing lefties lately as well, this Oakland lineup. So I definitely am looking at this as a pretty good bounce back spot here for this Oakland team today coming into this game against Texas. So minus 140, minus 145. I don't think that's a terrible price whatsoever to be looking here at the Oakland Athletics side here. And I think Bassett can do a good enough job facing this Texas team tonight. So I'm looking at this afternoon. So I like Oakland here a little bit, minus 140, minus 145. There he is. There's our man, Conor Mac. back with us. I don't know what happened. I thought he had the link already. I sent it, but anyway, he's here now. Connor, what do you think here? Oakland, Texas. What do you think?
I don't want the A's. I think this is a bounce back spot for the A's. They just been fucking with me. They were my only loss yesterday. First 5, either I bet them first 5 they win full game. I take first, the whole gambit here. And they should bounce back against the lefty and Allard. The team total's all right, I guess. Maybe I'd look team total. Don't mess with the side here. Take the A's over 4.5 at -105.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely that's definitely a good option. That's one I considered for sure as well. Jose, what do you think here, Oakland and Texas?
Yeah, this is a pass game for me. I think it's really tough to bet these games sometimes, especially at the Arlington's Park at Arlington, whatever the hell it's called now, the Rangers Stadium. Their park plays weird, open or closed roof. It's like 104 apparently in Dallas, so maybe you lean towards the under there. But I'd stay off. I'm off this game.
Little Jack of the day. Shout out to my guy Maxwell Smart. He sent it to me. Joey Gallo, 4 for 5 with 2 homers off Bassett. So Jack of the day.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And apparently the roof is open in Arlington. It's like 100. It's literally like 104. So man, if you're going to that game and roasting, I'd be humid.
I'm shocked by that. This is the time of year where you almost never see the roof open in places like Texas and Arizona with these retractable roof ballparks and stadiums and domes. Like this is usually that time of year where you just, with the heat as intense as it is, you just are not supposed to see the roof open at this time of year in either Texas or Arizona. So I don't know. That's concerning me. We'll have to wait and see. Is it really concerning that is indeed the roof not open, or the roof open, I should say, in Texas today. All right, next game up on the slate here, we've got the Baltimore Orioles and the Toronto Blue Jays. Dean Kramer, Anthony Kay, the pitching matchup here. This game in Buffalo, of course. Toronto -190 home favorites, 10.5 the total in this game. Sure sets up as a game where we could see some runs. I'm certainly not in love with Anthony Kay or what he's done so far. He's been erratic. He's been up and down. He's had one day he looks terrific, and the next day he gives up 6 runs. That's been Anthony Kay at times this year for this Jays team. But Dean Kramer, there's nothing at all to be excited about or confident in with him this season for the Orioles. Terrible ERA. The Blue Jays have seen him already as well, so that really should be a benefit. So you got really a below-average pitcher, and this lineup's already faced him once. So I think it's probably a day where the Jays can do some damage. Baltimore could as well because they do hit lefties better than righties. Their season numbers against southpaws are better than against right-handers. So I would lean over. It's a high number, 10.5 in this smaller ballpark. But boy, I mean, it sets up pretty well, I think, for these two lineups. What do you think, Connor? Jays and Orioles tonight?
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. It's tough to take the Jays, this big number with K on the mound, and then you're going to get the rest of the Blue Jays bullpen after that. Of course, my guy, Dean Kramer, Dean Kane, he's not very good. Still hasn't won a game. So I lean over. I know it's 10 in the hook here, and I don't take many of those, but I'd only lean over here. 2 horrible pitchers. Your over got there yesterday, all with one team. And maybe today the Orioles can score some runs. They hit lefties a little bit better. So, maybe lean over here.
Yeah, exactly. The best bet for me yesterday on the show, Astros-Orioles over the total. And, it was all Houston getting the job done for me. Over 10 and 13 runs, all by the Houston Astros last night in that game, which tells you all you need to know about what that Baltimore bullpen is like right now. That's why I think this game also could get over, because you have a bullpen that's not really putting up a lot of zeros right now late in these games. What do you think here, Jose? Orioles, Jays?
I'm on the over here as well. I was leaning that way, but I'll go a different route here. I'm going to look at Cedric Mullins. He is going to be the all-star from the Baltimore Orioles this year, and if he's not, it's a crime. Over 1.5 bases, plus 107 currently. I like that as well. He's a stud.
All right. Yeah, good player prop there, indeed. All right, next up, we've got the Houston Astros. Speaking of the Astros, against the Detroit Tigers, Luis Garcia taking on Jose Urena. Houston -220. 9.5 the total in this game. 2 bets for me here. Another one. Hopefully there's some runs today, because this is another one. I'm on over 9.5, and I'm on Houston team total over 5.5, which is around -140. They should shell Jose Urena. Okay, this guy's been terrible in his last couple of starts. Absolutely awful. And I think Connor and I are starting to sound like a broken record on this show talking about Jose Urena. It's just not someone we've had a whole lot of faith in, and rightfully so. He struggled mightily. He probably should get bashed today. Sometimes it's concerning, though. The one thing that I'm worried about in the pit of my gut is we saw 13 runs from the Astros yesterday. Sometimes you score that many, you're quiet the next day. And we saw that earlier in the Baltimore series. Remember, they put up 10 or 11 or something one game, and they scored like 3, in the next game. That is the only thing that bothers me, but it's not enough to bother me. It's not enough to bother me enough to stay away from this team total. I think it gets there. Urena's been awful. He's been absolutely crushed in his recent starts. Garcia's actually been pretty good, no question, but he has been a little bit more susceptible on the roads. So that's why I do think the Tigers could scratch across some runs. And look, Detroit's hitting right now. Their lineup's actually been pretty damn good the last week or so. They got Akil Baddoo doing his thing, Jaime Candelario, Miguel Cabrera is, chipping in. This Eric Haas. He's been pretty good for this Tigers lineup since he's been in there. This lineup's doing a better job right now putting runs on the board. So I like the over in the full game, 9.5, but also specifically isolating the Astros team total over 5.5 tonight. Connor, what do you think here? Astros Tigers.
Yeah, that's the one thing I'm thinking about. It's just a travel day, the whole thing. They just score 13 runs. They don't put up any today. That's what I'm leery here of. But I lean that way. Urena hasn't been good. But the Tigers, man, they keep playing pretty good baseball here. Just a game I'm going to stay off. Astros are way too big of a favorite. You could take them first 5, half a run. You can go full game. But it's just a pass for me.
Yeah, I mean, and Detroit's battling right now. They're a feisty little ball club right now, and you got to give AJ Hinch credit. AJ Hinch is trying to rehabilitate his career. There are some people that still think he was only a good manager with Houston because of cheating their way to a World Series and not giving Hinch credit for the job he did. Well, now he's trying to prove that, hey, now that can't be questioned now with what I do here in Detroit. Now it's going to be about, whether I can be a good manager. So I think there's a chip on his shoulder as well. And for him to be getting what he's getting out of the Tigers right now, it's not bad at all. I mean, they're like I say, they're competitive. They're in a lot of games lately. And of course, nice win for them against St. Louis yesterday. Jose, what do you think here? Astros Tigers.
I'm on the Astros as well. Their first 5 price is minus 150. So if you're willing to pay that price, I love that. But I would like to take this time because I've got ultimately nothing on this game. I'd like to take this time to acknowledge that Aaron Judge has hit a home run, and it is the most annoying of home runs because it's the Yankee Stadium, barely gets out home run. It's classic Yankee Stadium bullshit, and the Yankees are up 1-0. So they're ruining our live
right.
over. Yeah.
Isn't that right? The short porch and right. Yeah, exactly. I didn't put the game. Now I've got the game on now. I forgot.
Yeah, it's very annoying.
On the paper putting it on. Yeah.
It's honestly the most frustrating thing to see every time. It just makes me mad seeing Aaron Judge being big as hell, just scraping home runs over. I'm like, oh, this is the worst.
Yep. And Helen Keller on that mound off to a rough start. That's a great way to start. Home run and single, back-to-back at bats. So it looks like it's going to be a rough day for him today, potentially, once again, for the Kansas City Royals. Next up here, we've got Atlanta and Cincinnati. We don't have a starting pitcher yet for Atlanta, but we do know it's Tony Santillan here for the Cincinnati Reds. Cincinnati, pretty much even money here, 9.5 the total. But again, without Atlanta, knowing who their pitcher is going to be, it's hard to get involved in this one. Santillan has been decent so far. Total is going to be high here, 10.5. So we'll wait and see who's starting here for the Atlanta Braves. But I'll tell you right now, Atlanta, we didn't see Acuna in the lineup yesterday. This team's just, going through some kind of funk right now. Really a disappointing season for them. So at this point, I'm not really interested in whoever's on the mound for the Atlanta Braves. This team's struggling right now. So is Cincinnati. They've kind of hit the skids a little bit after a good run. San Diego really took it to them over the weekend, but probably a game I wouldn't be betting anyway. But I'll tell you right now, I'd probably be Cincinnati or nothing if I were to get involved in this game. Anything for you here, Connor? Atlanta, Cincy.
Yeah, the Braves are just whoever's on the mound. I don't want anything to do with them. We've talked about that. And if I'm on the Reds, give me them first 5 here, not full game. That bullpen's horrible. And for the Reds also, this is in game, I think. Bet for sure. Maybe take the over, all those runs late with the Reds, maybe the Braves hit. So this one would be good to watch and a live in-game bet.
Yeah, and the Atlanta bullpen ain't anything to write home about either.
Really?
Jose, what do you think here, Atlanta, Cincinnati?
Yeah, I'm off this game. Don't know the starter. Can't really be sure. Shout out to Dad. Don't ask, don't tell. I will be talking about the Yankees more often, so I hope you stick around. Appreciate you as always, but I'm off this game. There are better games to be talked about with starting pitchers. So.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, next up, we've got Washington Nationals, Miami Marlins, Joe Ross, Cody Poteet. Your pitching matchup here, pretty much even money on both sides, 8.5 the total in this game. I think we see runs scored in this game, and I know Miami's been a low-scoring team lately. They've struggled at the plate. They got shut down pretty good by the Blue Jays in back-to-back games. But Joe Ross's ERA jumps significantly on the road. That bothers me a little bit. Now, I know this is a nice, usually a friendly ballpark for pitchers, but a little bit here is the numbers on the road have not been great. Cody Poteet has been brutal, in his last 3 starts. He's been one of the – there's a lot of good pitchers on this Marlins rotation when you think about it. Sandy Alcantara's been capable. Trevor Rogers has been capable. They've got some decent arms. We've seen Lopez, pitch well for them at times this year, but Cody Poteet hasn't been one of them. He has an 8 ERA in his last 3 starts. He's really struggled significantly. I'm not exactly convinced he can turn it around here in this game against the Washington Nationals. I think the Nationals can do damage. And another thing to keep in mind, guys, about this game here specifically, you have 2 Washington bullpen that was heavily used yesterday. And even the Marlins didn't get the length they usually get out of Rogers. So that bullpen against the Jays was used quite a bit. So you have the door open, in my opinion, for some runs later in the game against 2 bullpens that are probably going to be a little bit worn down and potentially shorthanded today. So that Washington game, that was like baseball on acid yesterday. I couldn't believe what I was watching. Think about that game. It was 5-0 for the Phillies. You think Washington's done. And then they put up a 5 spot, including a 3-run bomb by Schwarber in the 5th inning to tie that game 5-5. And then in the bottom half of that same inning, all with 2 outs, the Phillies load the bases, McCutchen with a grand slam to go up 9-5 in that game. And you think, wow, finally Philly's going to put away this seesaw battle. Not the case. Washington answers for like 6 runs the very next inning in the top of the top of the 6th, and goes up 11-9, and eventually they win. And then they blow the lead. They go down 12-11.
Oh, yeah.
And then they got 2 in the 9th, and they take the lead again 13-12, and they hang on. That was an absolutely nuts game yesterday, the Nationals and the Phillies. And unfortunately for Washington, their bullpen, they just crushed through their bullpen, and their bullpen is probably in a bad way going into this game tonight. So long story short, over the total, because I think you're going to get runs late if you don't get them early. And I don't even know if you have to wait around. I think Ross is a little bit suspect, and certainly Poteet hasn't been in good form the last few games. So I like over 8.5 here. What do you think, Connor? Washington, Miami.
Yeah, Joe Ross. I just can't ever figure him out, when he's going to throw well or when he's going to throw bad. I'm always on the wrong side, it seems like. I've been better. Poteet, like you mentioned, he's got rocked a little bit his last few starts. If he keeps the ball down, he'll be okay. It's when he leaves it up. I'd only be on the Marlins a little bit here. Give me after the Nationals, that game yesterday in the bullpen. And like you said, I think an overlook is good here, and maybe an in-game. But I lean Marlins here, plus money at home. I'll take a shot with them.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'd lean that way. If I wish Poteet was in better form right now, but you're right. I mean, Washington, no lead is going to be safe with Washington today. Like, even if Ross gets the better of Poteet early, you've got that bullpen that's definitely a concern. And Miami, could be able to make hay against it late in the game if they're trailing. So this one might be a game where Miami's never out of it because of the bullpen concerns you have with Washington. Jose, what do you think here?
Yeah, I'm on Nationals first 5. This was Matt Randall's tank play of the day on Jimmy's show. I believe he got it at -115. I have it at -120. I think that's just an automatic thing you got to do. Take the tank play of the day every day. So I'm on that. Otherwise, I'm off, or otherwise I don't have anything else. Ian, I'm right there with you, though. I was watching that Phillies Nationals game last night. It was insane. Absolutely insane. And it just makes me laugh every day that there are people that are just diehard Philadelphia fans just getting beaten over the head by their sports teams like that.
Yeah, it is. I mean, this is like you needed something good to happen. You just, the Flyers had a bad season. The Eagles, of course, disastrous last year, and lots of questions moving forward. The Sixers get knocked out, disappointing end in the second round once again. You needed something good to happen, and there's the Phillies doing what they did yesterday. Classic Philadelphia right now, just not in a good way at the moment with their sports teams collectively at the moment, and they were on the wrong side of it once again yesterday. Next game on the slate here, we've got Boston and Tampa Bay. Nick Pivetta, my Canadian brother, taking on Michael Wacha here in this game. Michael Wacha, Flocka Flame. We've got right now Tampa Bay. Pretty much even money, actually, both sides here at the Trop. 9 the total in this game. The Rays bombing the Red Sox last night, 8-2. Dick Mountain, as Jose calls him, pitched very well last night for the Tampa Bay Rays and had some pointed comments about this nonsense with the pat downs after the game. Good for Rich Hill. Took the Max Scherzer route and spoke out about this absolute nonsense and embarrassing displays we're seeing where the umpires are patting down these pitchers. I like what he said. It's dehumanizing. Is the words that Rich Hill used after that. It is. They make these guys. It's just funny when you look at this from afar, and they're doing all this, pat down and they take the belt off and all that. It's almost like they've just robbed a bank or something. It's like you're treating the pitchers like they've done something to that magnitude. There's got to be a better way to.
They're sneaky though, Ian. Pitchers
Yeah.
are sneaky,
Yeah.
so they know where to put it and hide in certain spots. So. They know what they're
That's
doing.
True. I don't doubt for a second, Connor. There's some smart, savvy, and they wouldn't.
Yeah.
They'd bend the law if they got an advantage. Let's put it that way. They
Oh, yeah.
absolutely would. I just think it's embarrassing to see your sport, and every night now you're seeing umpires pat these guys down like they're going to jail or something. It's just pretty hilarious, and you can tell some of these pitchers ain't happy about it. And Rich Hill, one of those pitchers that was not impressed with the display and what's going on right now on a nightly basis, checking these pitchers for that sticky stuff. But nevertheless, here tonight we've got Nick Pivetta and Wacha. I don't trust Wacha a whole lot in this one. I think Boston can. Boston's really been hitting righties very well lately, much better, especially on the road. So I could see them doing some damage here against Michael Wacha. On the flip side, Pavetta's been definitely better than I thought this season. Yeah, he's had a couple bumps in the road here and there, but he's definitely pitched better than I thought. And I think he can get the better of Wacha here tonight. So I'm on the Red Sox, first 5, full game split. I kind of like the spot, too. They got beaten down pretty good last night. So looking to gain some redemption tonight against this Tampa Bay team, who's still struggling mightily. I mean, let's not forget that snapped a lengthy losing streak for Tampa Bay, that win last night. So I think Boston's the side here. I would go with them first 5 full game in this one. Connor, what do you think? Red Sox, Rays?
Yeah, I think there could be a little value here. We'll see if Pivetta, he's kind of coming back down to earth, how he pitched really well early in the year. And he wasn't giving up the homer. He's given up the long ball lately. That's been his kind of thing, is that the long ball's been he gave up a 3-run homers last start. I'd lean Red Sox. I kind of like the team total at plus 105 over 4.5, maybe a little bit better than just taking them to win. I think they can get to Wacha and again get to the Rays in that bullpen. So either Sox full game or team total here I'm looking at.
Yeah, I like the Red Sox here. And look, they've done nothing against Pivetta in the past. Now, a lot of it has been limited at bats, but not much success whatsoever. And Manuel Margot, 1 for 9 against him. So he's done well against the Rays. And Wacha on the other side, you've got Verdugo, 2 for 5, Bogarts, 2 for 5 against him. Enrique Hernandez, 4 for 12. So better success for the Red Sox against Wacha. So I definitely think they can pick up the victory here, which should make Jose Bouquett quite happy hearing me say that. What do you think here, Jose?
Yeah, I said it on Jimmy's show. This is the most important game of the year for both teams. Half game out of first place are the Rays. Red Sox are in first. They get shelled last night, and we need to put this on our radars. Garrett Richards, he's done. He's done. Absolutely done. He said after the last start, but after the start before that, This was his first start non-sticky stuff. He was like, yeah, I'm glad that I got through my career not having to worry about this stuff, blah, blah, blah. Careers are going to get changed, all this stuff. And then comes out and literally cannot throw anything. No off speed working for him. Couldn't find the grip. Every time Garrett Richards comes on the mound, automatically fade him. I just want to let you guys know that now. For this game, I'm on the Red Sox.
He was a fade already for me.
You're right. You're right, Connor. You're right.
Yeah, you didn't need to give me the
you're
news
not
alert,
pushing
the
me
news
here.
flash on Garrett Richards. We were already on that. Yeah.
No, hey, I'm just letting you guys know that he is officially going to retire. Apparently now he's mentally out of it. But I'm on Red Sox money line this game. I think they can get this game done. I'm on the over 9. That was my play of the day on Jimmy's show. I think that both teams can obviously hit the ball well. Michael Walker gives me flashbacks of the 2013 World Series when he was on the Cardinals, so I really like when he's on the mound, and I think that they can get to him early. So I'm on the Red Sox.
All right, on the Red Sox, Jose in this one. All right, Cleveland and Minnesota. We've got Giancarlo Mejia for Cleveland against Jose Barrios for the Minnesota Twins. We've got Minnesota minus 180 home favorites, 9 the total, shaded to the over. I don't know what the hell happened to Giancarlo Mejia in his last start against the Pittsburgh Pirates, but it was absolutely dreadful. And actually, he's been trending in the wrong direction. I mean, he's had, I think, a decent first outing since joining the Cleveland rotation, but last couple have been kind of rough for him. So that could be some trouble. I think the Twins team total over 4.5 could be a look for me. I definitely lean in that direction. Barrios, decent this at home this year. Sometimes, though, with Barrios, it's always difficult to trust him sometimes because he has that odd start where he loses the strike zone a little bit and can get roughed up. We know when he's on his game, he's very difficult to hit. I think Minnesota wins the game. I just think that instead of minus 180 or instead of run line, especially with this Minnesota bullpen, which is still nothing all that spectacular, you always worry that Barrios goes out there, pitches well, and then they give it away with that bullpen late in the game. That's why I prefer the team total method here with Minnesota if I'm going to bet this game, because I do think they can hit Mejia. Mejia is definitely trending in the wrong direction, but I don't trust that. I don't like the price on the money line, and I don't love that Minnesota bullpen. So if I were to bet this game, it would be Minnesota team total over 4.5. Conor Mac, what do you think here? Indians, Twins.
Yeah, you could take the first 5 half a run, cut this down a little bit, this high juice. Yeah, team total, I guess. Mejia, he pitches that bad. If I know he's going to pitch that bad, even I'll be on this over 5.5 team total at plus money with the Twins. I don't know if it'll be that bad today. We'll see. But I lean Twins here. Barrios is back home, 7-2, 3.5 ERA. He's been pretty good this year. So Twins in some form here. Team total, first 5, something.
Yeah, first 5 minus a half run, you can get it down to that minus 130 range. Definitely
right
a better price right there. Jose, what do you think? Cleveland, Minnesota.
Nothing I like in this game at all. This is a team that should not be this high of a price, like Bloods is saying, but stay off from me. JC Mejia has been awful. I'm all set.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you're talking about a 31-42 team minus 180 over the 40-31 team. That's what you're looking at right here. So that's a huge price to be that's why Barrios is always priced like this. It's hard to find that value when he's on the mound, even for a team that's 11 games below 500. Pittsburgh, St. Louis. We've got Chad Kuhl and Carlos Martinez, the pitching matchup here. St. Louis in that minus 150 to minus 160 range in this game. The total 9 across the board. Carlos Martinez, more bad than good. I think it's safe to say that's what it's been with him in this rotation here for the St. Louis Cardinals. Certainly not been someone I've been rushing to bet, and I'm not looking to lay this kind of price with him, not at all. I give the Pirates credit. They battled tough against the White Sox, a very good White Sox team in the most recent series. But still, this Pittsburgh team, at home they've been a little bit better. On the road, we're talking about a 10-25 team, which just isn't very good. There's just so many of these bad road teams in Major League Baseball this year. And the Pittsburgh Pirates are another one. Chad Kuhl, I don't think much of him. 5.66 ERA this season, although he is coming off one of his better outings of the year against that Cleveland. 1 run, 4 hits, 6 innings. But before that, he had been roughed up. He had given up 3 runs or more in 6 straight starts before that better outing last time out against Cleveland. He's kind of struggled against St. Louis. Not kind of. He's 2-8. Pittsburgh in 10 starts with Chad Kuhl against the St. Louis Cardinals. He's been roughed up by them repeatedly. Martinez, like I say, terrible in his last start. 8 runs, 3 innings against Atlanta. Gave up 5 runs in 4 innings against Cleveland, 10 runs against the Dodgers. I mean, it's just been a really bad run for him. And when you look at these two pitchers, Chad Kuhl, 7.45 ERA on the road, 5-0 over the total in his 5 road starts this year for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Carlos Martinez, 5.27 ERA at home, and the over 4-1 in his 5 home starts. So you combine the Kuhl road starts with the Martinez home starts, and you have a 9-1 to the over angle in play in this game. 9-1 to the over if you combine the road starts for Kuhl and the home starts for Martinez. So that's what I'm going to go with there. I know the St. Louis team, look, they get held to 2 runs by that rookie pitcher Manning yesterday. You know, this lineup can be sketchy sometimes, but Chad Kuhl, there's nothing cool about the way he's pitched this year. If St. Louis is not going to get some offense today, when is it going to happen for them? And on the flip side, I think Pittsburgh can get a few things done against Martinez. So I'm going to go over the total. And like I say, 9-1 angle on your side here, 9-1 to the over when you combine Kuhl on the road and Martinez at home this year. So over 9 for me here, Pittsburgh, St. Louis. Connor, what do you think?
Yeah, we got a couple of bums on the mound here, these two. And I don't want Martinez laying a minus 150 price. Give me the Pirates here, first 5 plus 140. I think it's a bunch of value. There's a bunch of guys that have hit him. Polanco's 14 for 32, 4 doubles, a triple, a homer. He's a jack of the day guy. And the Cardinals, you mentioned it, a few guys that have hit Kuhl. He hasn't been very good all year, even though he pitched well in his last start. Yadi Molina, 7 for 15 with 2 home runs as well. Another jack of the day candidate there. But yeah, I like your over, Ian. I think runs can be scored. You can look at team total. It just, can the Cardinals score? I think so. I lean over, but I'm definitely on the Pirates first 5 here.
Yeah, I mean, those are just numbers that are difficult to ignore. I mean, you've got what 5-0 over on the road for Kuhl, and then you got 4-1 for Martinez to the over at home. I mean, and you combine the two, that's 9-1. I mean, I'm just playing the numbers there. The numbers say, look over the total here. What do you think, Jose, with Pittsburgh, St. Louis?
Yeah, I'm on the overs as well. I love what you were spitting there, Ian. You're spitting the truth, and I'm probably gonna ride there with you. Player prop wise is where I usually contribute here, and I'm looking at Gregory Polanco. Gregory Polanco has 40 at bats against, 40 plate appearances against Carlos Martinez, 32 at bats, 14 hits, 4 doubles, a triple, a home run, and only 3 strikeouts. A whiff rate of only 10.8%. Over 1.5 bases for Mr. Polanco is plus money, plus 111. Love that today.
There you go. Time for Gregory Polanco to get things done for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Jose liking his total bases over. And we are coming up to the West Coast action. There's only one West Coast late night game. And our new staple here on the show is doing what we call the 7th inning stretch before we get to the West Coast games. And that's shout out everybody in the chat who has joined us and tunes in to the closing time show. And we rhyme off who's joining us today. Eric Chang, Bleds, Gerardo, Brandon Lugo, Billy Brisbane, Eric Jones, Jack Reinhart, DC, Sterling Gentry, Lucky Power, Christian Larson, Can't Get Right. He's liking the over as well tonight in this St. Louis game. Max on Record, Wyatt Chapman. We definitely appreciate everybody joining us. Not applicable in the chat as well. Thanks to everyone for joining us on the show today and tuning in. We definitely appreciate it. Leroy Flood. We've got Robert Cherry, Gravy Bet, Sam Culmer, Leroy Flood, Kyle Hintley, and good stuff. Everybody joining us today. Anthony Witherspoon, Raymond Reddington, David Sharp, who's going to be with us Saturdays now moving forward on this show. David Sharp every Saturday right here on the MLB Closing Time show. So looking forward to that. Great Johnny K and everybody else joining us. We appreciate it. All right, let's get to that West Coast action. And there's only one game on the left coast tonight. Chicago Cubs, LA Dodgers. We got Bueller on the mound for the Dodgers. Zach Davies for the Cubs, minus 250. Dodgers at home here, 8.5 the total in this game. Normally I say, you know what? The Dodgers come at a hangover spot when you play, a hotly contested series like that against the San Diego Padres. But, to hell with the letdown spot. There shouldn't be a letdown. You just got your ass kicked by San Diego in 3 straight games. I mean, you got swept. And you didn't play that good in that series. You didn't hit in the clutch. Your pitching was mediocre. Say what you will about Trevor Bauer. He's got all the time to make these YouTube videos. Apparently, he doesn't have time to figure out how to have a good first inning, on occasion. And last night, that was the case. I mean, hello, all of a sudden, Cronenworth and Machado go back to back. By the way, if you were watching yesterday's show, Conor Mac and I not only we loved Manny Machado to hit a home run in that game last night. Like, he had absolutely owned Trevor Bauer. 4 home runs it was against him in the past. And sure enough, he hits him in the very first at bat out of the yard there at Petco. And by the way, I've say this, I've watched a lot of Padres baseball this year. They are an entertaining team, but half of the reason why I've watched them so much is because of Mudcat, Mark Grant, and Don Orsillo. That broadcasting team, that's got to be among the best in baseball. They are phenomenal. They're funny. They're hilarious. They're entertaining. They're energetic. Don calls a great game. He gets either when he calls a big moment, it's a great call usually. That is a great broadcast right there, San Diego. So now when the Padres are playing, I'm choosing that feed usually on my IPTV when I'm watching a Padre game. But absolutely great stuff. And by the way, Jake Cronenworth, they're calling it the Crone Zone now. Whenever he hits a home run, you're in the Crone Zone. And the Mark Grant, this legitimately was hilarious when I heard it. That's another bomb for Jake Cronenworth. Look who came to work today. It's Jake from Rake Farm. I thought that was wow. Jake from Rake Farm, yeah. Because he's crushing the ball right now, yeah.
Yeah, Don Orsillo is a Red Sox guy too. Don Orsillo used to be the Red Sox announcer forever, and the Red Sox let him walk like fools. So
before the
it's very painful.
We're getting rid of you, yeah. But
yeah,
numbnuts, that's the only word for it to describe them and making that decision. Because he's one of the best.
I think that's an SAT word actually as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Stupid. Well, they're paying the price for it now. He's in San Diego. He's enjoying it, and it's a great broadcast there. But anyway, getting back here to Cubs Dodgers, we have Davies on the mound, and it was just a great run for Davies, and that run ended in his last start. So can he bounce back? We'll have to wait and see. You know what I think about this Cubs team? I don't want them on the road. This team's just not, they don't do enough for me on the road. I mean, they've won so many of their games once again this year at Wrigley Field. I know the Dodgers off the 3 games against the Padres. Look, normally that is a letdown spot for me, but when you lose all 3 games, you've got arguably your best pitcher on the mound tonight. I think this is a spot, step up, stop the bleeding, win this game, get it done. It would be Dodgers or nothing. But again, you don't get much value when you're trying to back Buehler at home. That's just the way it is. But I want no part of the Cubs here in this game tonight. Conor Mac, what do you think? Cubs Dodgers.
Yeah, not a lot of value when you get Buehler on the mound here. But he's the guy you want, 7-0. We always bring up he is their best pitcher, 2.38 ERA. Yeah, maybe the Dodgers team total. Of course, it's over the 5.5. You got to get 6 at plus money. I'd lean that way. And there's a few guys. I mean, just came back. Bellinger's hit Davies well, 6 for 16 with a couple of homers. And Justin Turner, 7 for 23 with a jack. Maybe all over the Dodgers. And Davies is the perfect guy the Dodgers hit, a righty like him. They just rip him, and he's not good on the road. So, yeah, lean Dodgers, maybe alternate run line, however you want to do it here.
All right, yep. So I think this could be a night maybe to, go with a run line, maybe even if you're really feeling gutsy, maybe even an alternative run line. I might just do that, sprinkle a small. I might even bypass the -1.5 and maybe look at some -2.5s or -3.5s on the run line, even with the Dodgers. I just think this is a get well spot, and Davies on the road is not still for the season. He's, like I say, he had been pitching better. Last start was not good, but overall on the road, he has been roughed up this season. Zach Davies, what do you think here, Conor Mac? Jose.
Yeah, I think that it's definitely Dodgers or nothing. Someone in the chat just mentioned the first 5 team total, over 2.5 -124. You want to pay those prices. I like the full game team total over 5.5. plus 112 for the Dodgers. You can put both those on there. I mean, the numbers speak for themselves. Zach Davies gets touched up by these Dodgers a lot. It's kind of tough. Mookie 9 for 3 or 3 for 9. Justin Turner 7 for 23. You know, Max Muncy's hitting 300. Austin Barnes hitting 273. Like it's everyone too. They all touch him up a little bit. So I'm on the Dodgers team total here.
Cody Bellinger, Jack of the Day. My number one Jack of the Day is Cody Bellinger today. He's had a couple days now to get back in that lineup now from the injured list. Feeling good, feeling better. He's hit another one of those Dodgers that has hit Zach Davies in the past, 5 for 14, 357, and a home run. I think it's time to get off the schneid and get in that and go yard tonight in this game. Cody Bellinger for the LA Dodgers. All right, great stuff, Connor. Great stuff, Jose. That is the Thursday MLB card. We will get to best bets. We'll get to Jack of the Day in just a second. But before we do that, we'll pause for messages from Manscaped and Southtown 101. Antonio, Texas. When you're in town, make sure you check them out. Great food, drinks, live music, DJs, karaoke as well. Southtown 101 in San Antonio. Manscaped promo code PubSports. The all-new and improved Lawnmower 4.0 is now available, and you can get 20% off the purchase of that and all Manscaped products by using the promo code PubSports. And MyBookie.ag, promo code PubSports. NHL, NBA playoffs, Major League Baseball, still going daily. Football is right around the corner. Training camp is less than a month away. And that first NFL preseason game, the Hall of Fame game, is like 5 to 6 weeks from now. So it is going to be here before you know it. Great time to set up an account, mybookie.ag. You can use Bitcoin for your accepted currency for a deposit if you wish. Mybookie.ag, promo code PubSports. All right, it is that time of the show. Jack of the Day.
Well, see you later.
Love it.
Jack of the Day time. Cody Bellinger, LA Dodgers. Like I said, it's probably one of my favorite looks today in terms of the home run props. Yadi Molina against Chad Kuhl. He's got 2 home runs against him. I wouldn't argue with that as well going into this game today. So those are 2 that definitely stand out for me. I'm also, there was one more. I'm trying to recall what it was again, but there was definitely one more. Oh, Vlad Guerrero against Dean Kramer, I think, is worth a look. He already does have a home run against him as well. So we'll go with those. We'll go with Vlad Guerrero of the Toronto Blue Jays. We'll go with Yadi Molina of the St. Louis Cardinals, and of course Cody Bellinger for the LA Dodgers. There we go. Some Jack of the Day candidates for me. Conor Mac, what do you got for home runs?
Yeah, of course you get Gallo plus 350, Polanco plus 375. If you're looking for a couple bombs, the Yadi Molina, he's plus 570. He's 7 for 15 with 2 home runs. And one more, Justin Turner. He's over plus 425, plus 450. A little value there. He's got good numbers against Davies.
All right, Jose, any home run props? And if not, best bet.
I'm leaning towards I'm looking at Astros, I should say. I'm looking at Astros. Jose Altuve, chat was just talking about him. 3 for 3 with 2 triples and a double off of Urania. Give me him and give me Carlos Correa. Altuve's plus 390. Correa is plus 316. I think both of them get jacks today. They've been hot. Altuve has tied for the most home runs this month. So Altuve for me. And best bet. I chickened out of this bet earlier. I'm going to make it here. I'm taking Red Sox money line. I think they get it done today. It's a very important game. The pride of Canada, Mr. Nick Pivetta, is going to do well-ish today. He'll probably go, let's say, 5, give up 2, 3, and the Red Sox offense gets it done today. So give me the Red Sox money line plus 107.
There we go. Red Sox money line plus 107. Actually, plus 102 is the best we can get right now, but still liking Boston for best bet for Jose Bouquett. 3-0 Yankees, by the way, as Helen Keller doing her thing, I guess you could say right now. But his thing, not doing well. Again, this guy's been a disappointment. They had this guy prognosticated to be the ace for the Kansas City Royals coming into this season. Think about that. And it's just been terrible for him all year long. Conor Mac, what do you think here for best bet?
All right, for Mills, I give the early game, this A's game. The team total I think is good, but get the over 8. I think you can get over 8 runs in that Rangers-A's game. But my best bet, I'm going Twins. First 5, half a run, minus 130. I think they hit Mejia there early and often and get ahead. Twins first 5, half a run.
All right, Twins minus first 5 innings, minus a half a run. Best bet for Conor Mac. My best bet, looking at this card here, oh boy, this is tricky because there's a lot of
Cardinals.
things I like.
You gotta go with that over, Ian.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking you were going to go to, Ian.
Yeah, that's exactly. I was leaning that.
I left it for
you. Team total, and I don't know. I like that too, but I don't know. The 13 runs yesterday, and as bad as Urania is, they should get 6. They absolutely should. They should. But I'm gonna. That's number 2 in the list. I'm gonna go with Pittsburgh St. Louis as the best bet. Pittsburgh St. Louis over 9. Minus 110. That'll be my best bet. Again, we mentioned the numbers. Cool, 5-0 to the over in his 5 road starts. Martinez 4-1 to the over in his 5 home starts. And as a result, there you go. You got 9-1 to the over combined. So again, you got 2 sketchy lineups. I get it, but the total's been bet up for a reason, 8.5 to 9. And I agree with the move. 2 very, very suspect starters. We'll go with Pirates Cardinals over 9 for my best bet for this Thursday card. And that'll wrap up this edition of Pub Sports Radio MLB Closing Time Show for Thursday, June 24th. Thanks to our special guest, Jose Bouquett. We will be back with you on Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific for another edition of the MLB Closing Time Show. And we will also be back later today, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific for the NBA Pub Hub. Conor Mac, Ski Prophet, Dutch Boy Fresh, and myself will look back at a crazy Game 1 with the Hawks and the Bucks last night. What a win for the Atlanta Hawks. We'll break it all down. We'll have sides. We'll have totals. We'll have player props. We might have Hawk animal sounds from me on the show once again. So make sure you join us for that NBA Pub Hub, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. And we'll also, of course, preview Game 3 and the return of Chris Paul tonight for Game 3 of the Western Final, LA Clippers, Phoenix Suns. So join us for the NBA Pub Hub later this afternoon. For Conor Mac and Jose Bouquett, I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Thursday afternoon. We'll see you in a couple hours for the NBA Pub Hub right here on Pub Sports Radio.